Hello, it's me. I was wondering if after all these years you'd like to meet to go over everything. They say time's supposed to heal you, but I ain't done much healing. Hello, can you hear me? I'm in California dreaming about who we used to be when we were younger and free. I've forgotten how it felt before the world fell at our feet. There's such a difference between us and a million miles. Hello from the other side. I must have called 1,000 times to tell you I'm sorry for everything that I've done, but when I call you, never seem to be home. Hey, how you doing? Justin here. Today we are checking out this gorgeous new Adele song called Hello. Not to be confused with the Lionel Richie one. Beautiful song and some really nice chords that you can work out for this one. It's of course originally kind of piano and synth driven. There's not much guitar on the original recording at all. So there's a few, you've kind of got a free rein on how it is exactly that you play it. I'm going to recommend that you play it with a capo or capo at the first fret because it makes it really a lot easier. And there's a few kind of chords that you can play really simply, or you can kind of choose to make the voicings a little bit more like the original piano one, which I think sounds kind of nice. I've been playing it finger style again to be able to choose which note is the top note of the chord, which is something that piano players do quite easily, but you can definitely simplify it, and we're going to start definitely by looking at just the most basic version of the chords. Now there's only really three and a half progressions right there, because there's a very kind of minor change that happens in the bridge in the middle of the song, but otherwise the progressions are fairly simple to learn. So let's start off with looking at the chords for the verse. So all you need for the verse is E minor, G. You can play any fingering of G that you like, because it's not, you know, we're trying to learn the exact one off the record because it's we're copying the piano, to a D chord, to a C chord. Okay, so any of those, E minor, G, then to D, to C. What's really important here is the rhythm though, because the second chord is coming on the offbeat. The count would be this: 1, 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3, 4. You could use all downs as I'm just demonstrating here, or you could make the second strum an upstroke, going like this: 1, 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3, 4. You can see if you do it this way, you can keep your hand moving, which is sometimes good for making sure that you keep yourself in time. It's really up to you what you like the sound of and what you want to play. Really important to get that rhythm though. 1, 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2 and 3, 4. Now the pre-chorus, okay, it's just a little 8-bar thing that links the verse and the chorus together. It's 8 bars long, and it's starting with an E minor, then going to a D. Now the actual recording is a B minor with an F sharp bass, I'm thinking, with the capo on still, to a C with the G bass, which is all very complicated, especially for those of you that are not into getting your bar chords going on yet. There's a really nice cheat here. Instead of the B minor, it doesn't work all the time, but it works in this song great, is starting from the D chord, just move your first finger over to the 5th string, 2nd fret. Okay, the tip of the finger will probably mute the thicker string, which is good. So muted, 2nd fret, open, open, 3rd fret, 2nd fret. It's kind of, I guess, a G major 7 over B would be its technical name, but you can just think of it as a cheat for B that sounds really good in this song. Especially going to the next chord, which is the C chord. So E minor to D, this B minor cheat, and to a C chord, and then E minor, D, C. It's really important here, the last chord, the C chord, comes a beat earlier than you might anticipate. So let me give you the count here again. It's very similar to what we had in the verses. So it'd be 1, 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've got a whole bar where that C chord rings out. Let me do that one more time. It's very important. So E minor to D, 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3, 4 here. 1, 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. One more time. 1, 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. The chorus, E minor, C to G to D. E minor to C, and a D into D, and I'm E minoring to C chord, and G going to D, and I E minor to C chord, and a G that I've D'd. Now the last thing I want to mention is the chords in the bridge. So if you're listening through the song after the second chorus, there's an ever so slight change in the chord sequence there. You might not notice it right away, but if you listen closely, you'll hear that around the chorus sequence is E minor, C, G and D. And then just in the bridge, for just 8 bars, it changes to E minor, C, D and then G. Okay, so those last 2 chords are just swapped around a bit, the kind of the instrumental section. So just keep an ear out for that. You'd probably be wanting to stick with your kind of chorus strumming. Okay, so let's talk a bit more about some kind of advanced things that you might want to get into, and probably the biggest deal here really is trying to copy the piano part a bit, and by choosing carefully which note is the top note of the chord, you can do that quite effectively with just a few minor changes with the fretting hand. I'd be recommending using fingerstyle. So thumb's going to be playing the bass note of the chord, and these 3 fingers are going to play like a block of 3 strings together. So for the very first chord, the E minor, thumb's going to be playing the thickest string, and first finger's going to be playing the 5th string, second finger will play the 4th string, and third finger will play the 3rd string. Okay? So we're playing the thickest 4 strings there for the first chord. For the second chord, for the G, I want to hear the top note as being the B string, so I'm going to move all of my fingers down a string. So thumb's still going to be playing the thickest string on the bass note. First finger's going to be playing the 4th string, second finger's going to play the 3rd string, and third finger will play the 2nd string. So you get this do-da. You can really hear that in the piano part. Now the D chord, the top note that you want to hear is the A. And to do that with the open chord, you'd just play the middle 2 strings of your D chord. So you might hold a D chord, but you'd only play the middle 2 strings, which I think sounds not full enough. Okay, so what I'd recommend here is playing D slightly differently. So this would be little fingers going down 5 frets above the capo. That would be the 6th fret. Third finger's going in the 5th fret, 4 frets above the capo. That is on the 4th string, and first finger's going in the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, 2 frets above the capo. The reality is the 3rd fret. And that's another way of playing a D chord. It's just a D triad. And then if you slide all of that back 2 frets but lift your first finger off, you're kind of playing the lowest 3 notes of a C chord. Thought you might like to see a bit of a close-up of these different parts as well. So here's the E minor to the G. So I'm just using one finger there really, because I'm playing the bass note and the chords. E minor, G. Now here's your D chord. Okay, little finger, 3rd finger, 1st finger. Just those 3 notes. And then moving it back. You could, if you wanted to play the C that way, you could do it that way. Or just slide it back, whatever works for you. E minor to G, D to C. E minor, G, D to C. Close-up look at the fingerstyle now for you as well for the verses. So you can see the thumb's playing thickest string. Fingers 1, 2 and 3 are playing the next string, so thickest 4. Then to the G chord. These fingers have moved over now, playing strings 4, 3 and 2. Thumb still playing the bass note. For the D chord, we're just playing the thumb there on the 5th string, 1st finger and 2nd finger. 3rd finger's got a day off there. And the same for the C chord. So the E minor, G, D, C. If I was playing this kind of for real, like doing it for a gig, I'd probably be taking it the next step as well to bar chords. So for the pre-chorus, instead of staying down here with my E minor, I'd probably move up here and be doing, it's kind of funny now, I'm in that realm of do I talk about it with the capo on or capo off. So I'm going to pretend that the capo's off. So this would be 7 frets above the capo, a minor chord shape with a 5th string root. Okay, E minor, going to D, little bar chord there, 1st finger 5 frets above the capo, major chord shape. Then I'll be playing now a B minor bar chord, which would have the root note normally at the 2nd fret 5th string. That would be a normal B minor bar chord, but probably I'd pop 1st finger over so you can get that nice low F sharp bass note, and then move it up a fret and change to the major chord shape. Okay, so this is way beyond beginner levels. Beginners don't want to be going near this stuff, but for me it's a really nice thing to be able to kind of separate the verses and the choruses. So having the E minor to, this is the verse, then to go into the pre-chorus with this, and then just a really, really nice kind of change between the verse and the chorus, you know, to have that sort of movement, you know. You're going to go up here, and then this. Okay, so we want a B, it's essentially a B minor chord, but you're playing the bass note over there, and then to a C chord, but the bass note there. So B minor over F sharp, C over G. I think for the chorus, strumming works really well. You could, of course, you could stay with the fingerstyle thing and just keep that sort of thing going on if you want. It's a really nice pattern that you can use this. If you're not familiar with this sort of hitting into the strings, you're just plucking together 1, 2, and 3, 4. So you're just hitting my hands so that the strings hit against the frets. That's what's making the click. If you do that on 2 and 4, it sounds really nice. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3. So you could definitely do that. It was a nice way of kind of moving it along. I think strumming it works really well as well. The strumming pattern that I think I'd kind of recommend here, well, there's a few different things that you could try out, but one that works really well is doing this down, up, hit, and then so using the outside of the hand now to hit into the strings there, make a little clicking sound on beat 2. 1 E and up, 2 and 3 E and 4. 1 E and up, 2 and 3 E and 4. 1 E and up, 2 and 3 E and 4. Down, up, hit, down, up, down, 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 up, hit, down, up, down, down. But you could really, there's lots of different ways of approaching this kind of song, you know, it's so open, you know, it kind of sounds nice, I think, to maybe keep it down and not be giving it so much strumming there in the first chorus, you know, and just keep it building up slowly. So, you know, especially if you're doing the change in the pre-chorus to the bar chords and going back, for more advanced players, you might be cool with sticking with the finger style for the first chorus, you know, keeping it kind of low down. It's really important if you're playing, you know, replacing a piano and a big arrangement on guitar to be able to kind of follow those dynamic things, you know. I'm trying to give you lots of hints here, so if you're a beginner and you're watching this, don't get scared off by these things. These are the kind of stuff that you want to think about as you progress, to take it from just being able to play the most basic version to expanding it up and getting it to sound how you want it to sound and making up your own arrangement of it. And I hope that's given you plenty of ideas. I'm not sure I've got more to share with you at this point, but if you've got any questions or you'd like me to work on like chord melody arrangements or something for this tune, then leave me some comments below, and please subscribe if you dig what I do, and I'll see you for plenty more lessons and songs very soon. You take care of yourselves. Bye bye.